It is 6:49. This is your morning in 8 minutes. Morristown police need your help finding this missing woman. Investigators say Christina Dee Dee Strange Ivy told a friend her car broke down in South Morristown, but when that person arrived, Christina was gone. Police say she was seen at a local business on Sunday, but has not been heard from since. If you have any information, please call police. Police are also asking for your help in finding another missing woman. Investigators say Denise Renee Patterson visited Knoxville a few months ago to see a dying family member and hasn't been heard from since. Police say she stayed at Carm on North Broadway. Her daughter last heard from her on June 22nd. Denise renewed her ID on the 29th. If you know anything, contact the East Tennessee Valley Crime Stoppers. And the NTSB will be in Campbell County today investigating a deadly plane crash in Jacksboro.
One person died, according to the sheriff's office. It happened around 1 o'clock in the afternoon yesterday. The FAA says the plane crashed near the Campbell County Airport after hitting terrain after takeoff. The pilot was the only person on board, according to officials. And a golf course in Tellico Village is now back open after a massive fire over the weekend at the clubhouse and restaurant. It burned down Saturday afternoon. Officials believe it started in the kitchen, but they're not sure how it started. That golf course reopened so quickly. They say all the golf carts were parked under the clubhouse, but they were untouched by the fire. And a man is facing charges this morning after police caught him carrying a weapon on school property.
This happened Friday night during the Christian Academy of Knoxville's football game. Authorities say they got a tip that 18-year-old Aiden Eldridge was armed and on his way to the school to confront a teacher. Authorities say they found his truck parked at the school and spotted an assault rifle inside. They found Eldridge at the football stadium and arrested him. This happened just after 8:30 during CAK's game against George Walton Academy. The school tells WVLT News Eldridge is a former student. The school released a statement saying, quote, "To our knowledge, the young man never threatened anyone on the campus that evening, nor was there any public incident." Eldridge will be in court for a preliminary hearing on September 27th. And a Roane County man convicted of child exploitation is sentenced to life plus 120 months in federal prison.
Prosecutors say Kent Boer used a phone and messaging platforms to communicate with an undercover officer that he thought was a 14-year-old girl in April of last year. Boer's also convicted of the sexual exploitation of a 15-year-old girl from 2012 to 2013.
Right now, the Morristown Hamblin Humane Society is only taking in dogs as they deal with a deadly outbreak of a disease known as feline panleukopenia. The shelter says multiple kittens tested positive for the virus. It's highly contagious, and the shelter is doing additional testing. The disease is deadly, but it is preventable with vaccines. They will not take any cats for the next 2 weeks. And continuing coverage this morning, NASA engineers working tirelessly to try to solve a number of issues right now that postponed the launch of the Artemis rocket on Monday.
Officials now hope to launch on Friday. Just hours before the launch yesterday, though, that highly explosive liquid hydrogen leaked and a fuel line failed to chill one of the engines. This forced NASA to scrub the launch. If they can't solve the problem by Friday, could be weeks. NASA says it's also worried about Friday's weather forecast at the Kennedy Space Center.
We have an important recall alert for you this morning. Check your pantry, a popular cookie being pulled from shelves because they contain metal fragments. DF Stover Biscuit Company recalling its Market Pantry White Fudge Animal Cookies. They're sold nationwide at Target. You can return it for a full refund. And WVLT, proud to be your official station of the Vols. You're getting a sneak peek at the new light show inside Neyland Stadium. You'll see it for yourself on Thursday night when the Vols kick off their season against Ball State. There's also a new Jumbotron and a party deck above the north end zone. We're going to get an exclusive tour of the new area today.
We better get a couple night games.
I hope we do.
On top of Thursday.
That's for sure. We're going to take you inside Neyland Stadium Thursday morning for our special Big Orange kickoff. We'll be live starting at 5 a.m. on campus. We're going to hear from Coach Heupel and the team. Plus, we're talking to the people off the field that make the game day experience what it is. That all starts 5 o'clock Thursday morning.
Well, more jobs are coming to East Tennessee. Coca-Cola Consolidated is looking for delivery drivers, merchandisers, and warehouse material handlers. The company's Knoxville branch is hosting a hiring event this morning at their bottling facility on North 21st Street. It starts at 9 this morning. It goes until 2 this afternoon. You could receive an offer on the spot. And those finishing touches are being done to the Broadway Viaduct in downtown Knoxville. It's been a couple years of construction. TDOT says the new bridge is still on track to open at some point tomorrow. tomorrow. The nearly 100-year-old road closed 2 years ago in need of significant repairs. When it reopens, it'll have 2 travel lanes, a center turn lane, bike lanes, and sidewalks. And if you're hitting the road this Labor Day weekend, good news, the state is halting all lane closures on interstates and state highways. The closures will last from noon on Friday until 10 Tuesday morning. TDOT says workers will still be in many of those construction zones. If you speed through one, it's not only dangerous, you could get a fine of up to $500. And with that,
and getting a look at your first alert traffic, that morning commute on this Tuesday is looking good. Those interstates and main roads still on time ahead of that morning rush. Heads up though, if you're traveling through Campbell County, a traffic shift is taking place today on State Route 63. This is going to be between Shetland Road and across Valley Road. Now all of that traffic is just going to be moved to the new wider section of this roadway. That shift begins at 9 o'clock this morning and should be complete by 6 o'clock. And moving around downtown Knoxville, that traffic is starting to pick up just a little bit, but no delays on those interstates. You're still looking good if you're getting out the door now.
6:55, a WVLT First Alert Weather Day starts later this morning. Actually, I wanted to even highlight how we have this nice light breeze, some great views, spotty rain now, but the winds will kick up as that line moves through. So I said most of us will have heavy rain and rumbles of thunder and some breezier conditions, gusts around 25 to 30 miles per hour. But an isolated storm cell could pick up gusts closer to 40 plus, and that's where we could have some damage in that WVLT First Alert Weather Day late morning through early afternoon. Then winds decrease, still breezy, but it's actually a shift in the winds this evening as that cold front passes. So not necessarily getting colder, but at least the humidity drops behind this line of rain and storms, which is easily going to pull up a good half an inch to an inch in these blue streaks here through parts of Knox and Blount and Loudoun counties. You see the streak of 1.5 to 2 inches up into the Smokies. Most of us fall in this range of really 1/4 to 1/2 inch overall on average, but obviously some very heavy rain from some of those downpours. Cumberland to Fentress, parts of Morgan still on the way to you here. Scott to Campbell to Claiborne County and Union County, far southeastern Kentucky and far northeast Tennessee as well. And that's what's on the way. This is what's popping up right now. We do have more spots of rain continue to develop. Got a couple of sprinkles here in South Cumberland. Got a couple of heavier rainfall spots trying to develop in Morgan to Scott County. So to give you an idea where those are headed, since they're a little bit more impactful here as you're trying to get out the door. Norma, you've got some heavier rain headed your way in about 15 minutes. Jacksboro closer to 7:37, La Follette 7:45. So right now, yes, there are a few clouds. We've got scattered storms on the way. That First Alert Weather Day, I'll have the latest track for you coming up on the CW.
All right, so we got to get through this first alert and then football on Thursday. We just got to get through today. Then it's football time in Tennessee. 6:56, we're headed to the CW. We'll see you there.